So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. Before I get into all the topics that I would like to share with all of you, please don't forget to, click that bell, ring that bell, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, all that good stuff, so I can keep on, bringing you very honest, truthful content to you guys your way. Um, today was a real good day for many reasons. I've been telling you subscribers for the last, if you guys have been here for 3 years or 3 years and a half, I've been telling you since gold was at 1,700 and something dollars an ounce, that if you want to buy something, look into gold. I've been telling you that for the longest. So some of you did listen, some of you didn't, and that's fine. But today, gold reached an all-time new high. Um, I really don't even know what the last number was, but it's high up there. It really went up. It really went up, but I want to explain to you something. I want to explain to you guys something. If you guys want to hear me out, fine. If you don't, you can kish. But I'm gonna tell you, I've been talking about gold in this channel for some time, and sometimes when you talk about something that people don't like, you get thunder lightnings in your TV antenna, and the channel goes nuts. But I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you're out there preaching, when you're out there preaching about something, I want you to know this. Hear me out. When you're out there preaching about something and you're just the only one out there, let's say you're on Broadway, in New York City, and you're preaching about something, and you're just preaching and preaching, but nobody's listening to you, nobody has stopped to hear you. People just keep on walking by you, and they see you as un loco, like a person is a mashugana, a crazy person, right? But the moment, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand this is the way, the big powerful countries of the world, they work. While you're there talking and talking, nobody listens to you, that's not a problem. Now the moment that one person or two persons stop to hear you, all eyes are on you already, because you're doing something that you're giving some information, you're giving some ideas to people out there. And I've been giving you this idea for some time. I've been giving you this idea, and sometimes, I get thunder lightnings in my TV tower, my antenna. And I want you guys to know something, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know this. Like the gentleman from Japan. That guy from Japan. He had like 4 stripes. He was a genius, and he wanted to go to Japan and talk in the middle of the street. And he spoke and he spoke and he spoke. This is a man with a brilliant mind, and he was talking to the people in Japan. Something big. But those countries, when they don't like what you're talking about, or they disagree, or you're showing too much, what happened to that Japanese gentleman. Right there in front of the right in the town. They clipped him. Gone. Goodbye. No more. We don't want you to talk no more. And I'm telling you this because you guys need to, exactly. We're going to be talking about the ICA as well too. We're going to be talking about that. I want to start by telling you that the United States of America, they have until 2030. Until 2030, we are going to go into 2026. They have 5 years to bring up their energy, electricity, clean air, all that good stuff. They need to bring it up 50%. So they can be also, AI and all that good stuff. But the United States of America is behind the 8 ball. They're behind the 8 ball. And I'm talking like this so you can understand why gold is going all the way up. Why it's going to keep on going all the way up. So you have a country like Russia, right? Russia has between 36, 42 nuclear reactors, nuclear plants. Russia has 42 nuclear plants, electricity, all that energy stuff, you know? Hear me out. And they're producing 36 more nuclear reactor plants. You know, it will take to the year 2042, but they're doing that. And the Americans, somos unos lambones. You know, we have these nuclear plants que están doblados, they're not the best, you know, NG. You have China. You have China as well. China's unbelievable. You know, China has like around 50, I forgot how many they have, but they have something like 58 nuclear plants for electricity, energy, all that good stuff. They have it. And the Americans, we are estamos apagados. You know, we don't have none of that stuff. The Chinese are also doing another 26 more. Another 26 more. And the Americans are picking their noses. You know, this is what they're doing. You know, and you know what the Americans are doing to us? I don't know if you know this, but we have two blacks. We have BlackRock and we have Blackstone, right? Hear me out so you know where we're going. Everything that I'm talking about is energy, you know, artificial intelligence, you know, AI, you know, all that good stuff. And the Chinese people are ahead of the game. The Russians are ahead of the game. And the Americans are dealing, you know who? With BlackRock and Blackstone. Do you know what BlackRock and Blackstone want to do? They want to buy utility companies. Utility, electricity, water, you know? So they can keep on gouging the prices on us. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. If you do understand, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, this is what it is. This is what's happening right now and what's going on. You know, BlackRock and Blackstone want to buy utilities. You know, they want to buy all that. They want to buy electricity company, one from New Mexico, the other one from Minneapolis. You know, they want to buy. So this is what they want to do to us. You know, and we're behind. The dollar's collapsing. You know, the dollar's collapsing. We're not doing well at all. And this is the reason why gold keeps on going up. Because we're not doing good at all whatsoever. Estamos mal. Oil fracking has stopped because it's not business for them. You know, we can't sell it at 64. We have to sell it at least for 72 to make money, if not close it down, because we're going to lose money. You know, fracking. You know what fracking is, right? So we have a bunch of things that are happening in our country, and we say we're the superpower. They say that we're the superpower, but then you have Russia. Russia has one of those satellites going around, you know, around the Earth, around going in circles. It's like a satellite. It was launched in 2022. You know, these people are getting ahead of the game, and we're behind. You know, we're so behind the eight ball, it's not funny. This is why gold keeps on going up, and it will continue to go up. Because we don't have things, we don't have them the correct way. We don't have them. Estamos mal, estamos jodidos. $1 today buys you a nickel. $1 today buys you a nickel, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you have these countries that they're really, you know, China, forget it. China sells to the whole world. To the whole world. You know, honestly, let's be honest. We need China. Let's be honest. You know, China did that new plane. You know, it's unbelievable. This plane they made, the Comac C919. Do you know about that plane they did? In every country, let me have 100. Let me have 50. I'll take 200. Because these people are ahead of the game. We're behind the eight ball. And gold is going to continue to shoot up. You understand me? Gold will continue to shoot up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to continue. What you saw today was a new record on gold. A new record. You know, how much is the ounce of gold today? Can anybody tell me how much is the ounce of gold? Does anybody know? I don't know. I left it at 30, I don't know, 3601. I don't know if it went down. I don't know. Where did it stay at? Can anybody tell me? And silver. Silver is going all the way up too. Silver. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we don't, listen to me. These Russians and Chinese are unbelievable. You know, do you know what ice-breaking ships are? Ice-breaking ships. You know, they go through the heavy, thick ice and break, you know, the ice, and they make paths, you know, to go in the ships and go to different parts of the world, get quicker. You know, the Chinese have those ice-breaking ships, and the Russians have those ice-breaking ships. You know what we have? We have a little fleet of Coast Guard, you know, ships to break little ice. But these people, man, these people are ahead of the game. These people are ahead of the game. Forget about what they're telling you. This is why I'm telling you that when you're preaching out there, they might not like what you're saying, but it's the truth. You can't tell me this is, you know, the biggest superpower when you have Russia flying around a satellite that whenever they want, they push a button, boom, right there. That's it. You know, we're not, we're getting flim-flam by BlackRock, by Blackstone. People were asking me, but isn't Blackstone and BlackRock the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. BlackRock is one thing, Blackstone is another thing. And this is what they're doing to us, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is what happens when we have to go out of the box and look for people. I don't know if you know this. Maybe it's not a good thing to say this, but I'm going to tell you because you need to know about this. I cannot let you continue hopping around through life like rabbits. But you know, over there in Germany, those Nazis, you know, those people had an intelligence over there that was brutal. An intelligence that was brutal. And some of the people from the United States say, hey, man, we got to go look for those people from over there, from Germany, from the Nazis, because they know how to do it. And they got a guy from over there. They brought him into the States, and he was the one that prepared for us. You know what I'm trying to say. The ICA. That's how it happened, ladies and gentlemen. You tell them, Franco. You tell them, remember, I don't want to get a thunder lightning on my tower TV. I don't want that to happen to me. I'll let you guys help me out with the words. And this is how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is how it is. If you don't know about that today, you're going to know it. I'm not going to be talking about a strap, about a rotor. You know, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to show you my new watch. No, Papa, you got to learn what's happening, man. You got to learn what's happening. Ice-breaking ships. We have a couple of tugboats. You know, little tugboats we have, you know, to cruise around for the Coast Guard. And you have the Chinese looking for exploration to find things, you know, more oil. The Russians, Papa, the Russians don't, Bobby, the Russians are ahead of the game. We're hopping around through life like rabbits. Our dollars through the floor. That sketch of believing that we are the superpower of the world, man, I love my country. I want to just say that. I love my country, and I will defend it to the end. But don't tell me that. We have all these other countries, they're ahead of the game. Can you imagine that when the Chinese said we're going to do a plane, you know, we're going to do a plane, an unbelievable plane. The Chinese, we're going to do an unbelievable plane. But they needed the engines, and they called Rolls-Royce, and they called GE, General Electric. They told them, don't sell nothing to them. Don't sell nothing to the Chinese. I'm not going to say who said that, but they said, don't sell them no engines. And the Chinese said, don't worry about it. We don't need your engines. We're going to do our own engines. And these people from China came up. If you don't believe me, you look up for COMAC. COMAC, COMAC. CAC, the C919. Papi, es un aparato. Every country, 25, 15, 50. I know what I'm trying to tell you. I know what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I could drop knowledge on you guys every day, but what happened to those people? They preach. While nobody listens to them, nobody cares. The moment you start listening to me, that's when they care. And I'm telling you today something big. Okay, the C29, there it goes. Whatever, you guys know more than me. Put it up there. But these people, this, Comac airline, aircraft, is unbelievable. They told the people, hey, Rolls-Royce, stick it. General Electric, stick it. We'll do it ourselves. Papi, these people fabricate everything, man. China does everything. And so I'm a little bit, hearing all this, and watching what's going on, that Russia has all these nuclear plants. China has all these nuclear plants. And we have a couple of plants, one of the light bulbs, it trickles, it turns off and it turns on, We're behind the 8 ball. We're behind the 8 ball, ladies and gentlemen, and these people are flying. Russia and China are flying. And the Americans should be doing the same thing, but for whatever reason, it ain't happened. I just finished telling you that BlackRock and Blackstone want to buy all the utility in this country. The water and the electricity. And then they started off with, let's buy New Mexico first. Let's buy Minneapolis. This is how it starts. Papi, how can that be? Electricity is going to go to the sky. Turning on your light is going to be a luxury. I know what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. La situación está jodida. La situación está pelúa, papá. Things are not right out there, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not right. I'm telling you. When you see what these people are doing out there, and what we're doing, come on, man. Listen to me. We have, I don't know how many oil refineries. Listen and learn. No sean pendejo. Listen and learn. Refineries. I don't know. We've closed down so many refineries, oil refineries, that you're not going to believe this. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. So then we buy all the oil from Mexico and Venezuela. Mexico y Venezuela. Right? And they buy all this oil from these two countries. And the refinery that we have in the United States, all over our country, is to make light oil. Light, light, not thick. What we're buying from Mexico and Venezuela is thick oil. So when it comes in, we don't have the refinery to put it light. We have to send it back out so they can fix it for us. You know what I'm trying to say or no? You don't know what I'm trying to say. So then they send all these ships out there and, planes flying around. And they are saying that this guy Maduro is playing with drugs, narcotics. He's a big dude. But in reality, what they're arguing about is oil. That's it, oil. They're just waiting for the phone call. Let's go. We want oil. It's what it is. So imagine getting all this oil, and it's thick. And our machinery, our products cannot. They don't do that. They only do light oil. Aceite, petróleo bien suave, very light. And what they have in Mexico and Venezuela is very thick. So they have to send it back out, sub it out, fix it for us, and bring it back in again. You understand me? It's so many things happening right now that we are upside down. One more time, I love the United States of America. Man, I love. But when you have to say the truth is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is the truth. The dollar is collapsing, papi, and they're printing money all over the place. But you're asking me if gold is going to continue to go up. Coño, well, what I'm telling you right now, shouldn't that give you enough lead already what's happening in the world? Nosotros no estamos bien, estamos jodidos. We're not right. We're not right. It's man, we have 5 years to bring up our energy capacity to a 50%. We have 5 years because China and Russia are flying. Can we do it? Of course, man. We're the best. But why are we behind the 8 ball? Can anybody tell me why we're behind the 8 ball? Can anybody tell me? You imagine a satellite? You imagine a satellite going around, Earth? It's an energy thing, from the Russians. Like a ring, like a ring. It doesn't stop. It's just there. Russia, going around in circles. A satellite. It's a rocket, something. And they can push a button and wherever they want, bang, fuera. Things are not right, man. Things are not right. That's why gold is shooting all the way to the stars. Shooting all the way to the stars. And everything that we do, we have to do something else. We got to go. We want to learn how to be, a secret agent. Okay, let's call the Nazis over there. They know how to do it. Okay, we're going to bring him in and we're going to call this the ICA. And that's how you learn about that. La situación está jodida. It's not right. I don't feel like, we're getting the short end of the stick. The short end of the stick. My dollar today doesn't buy me nothing, papi. It's losing the value. The dollar's losing it, papi. Like you won't believe it, man. You won't believe what's happening. So, and I told you guys, I've been telling you, when you see gold going up, the dollar's becoming, está jodido. It's bad. It's losing power. Papi, it's losing power. And let me tell you, that thing is, when I was looking at it today, I said, oh my God, they don't know what exactly a dollar is worth 2 cents. Estamos jodidos. We're not doing things. I don't know what happened to America. I don't know. I don't know what happened to America, I don't know. Enough of this, everything that we've done, everything we send all the jobs out of the country. Produce this out there. Produce this over there. Estamos jodidos, papi. And everybody because this is the punchline. Not everybody can be a Dr. E. No, not everybody can be a Dr. Evil. You can buy gold and sit on it and wait to hit the kaboom and make all the money in the world. Not everybody is lucky like that. Not everybody. All those friends that I know that have all these things put away. Because this thing is just, I keep on telling you, and I look at it and I go, wow, this is getting serious. These people don't know what we're heading into. It's going to be a dark winter. It's going to be a dark, dark winter, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody's telling you this out there. Nobody. Who's telling you? Me, because I'm a Meshuggah. I'm telling you because I'm a Meshuggah. Listen to me. You know what it is that Russia right now has 42 nuclear plants. And they're producing another 30 brand new until 2042. And China has 58. And they're producing another 20. They're flying, papi, and we have a couple of plants, you know, with the antennas, you know, estamos jodidos. Our refineries, man, you know what it is that we cannot, you know, no podemos curar el oil. We cannot, because our machines that we have are for light oil, not for thick oil that Mexico has and Venezuela. So when they bring it in, hey man, send it back. You know, I'm just giving you an example. Send it to Mickey Mouse country so they can refine it for us, because we don't have the machinery to refine this thick, you know, petroleum, oil. We don't have it. We're behind the 8 ball, man. And gold is gonna keep on going up. It's gold. Ese es el macho. That's the macho now. Gold is the macho. When I said what I said about not everybody is Dr. Evil, I'm saying that in the sense that not everybody has that to do it. You know, you don't have it. So everybody else is going to get this. You're going to get it deep. You're going to get it deep. I knew it was going to, I knew it. I mean, I don't want to take all credibility. I have to give it to, you know, the brains behind this channel, Sweet Kid Kino. You know, it's gonna break, papi. It's gonna pop. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. And it's there. I mean, something. If I tell you what I think is gonna have to happen here, because there's no more room for no more things to do. No more room. Ya te dije las dos potencias. Las dos potencias. La China, Rusia. You know? The two powerhouses, China and Russia. But, you know, they're not going to tell you what I'm telling you. I'm telling you because I'm stupid like that. And maybe I might get a thunder lightning and break down the tower. Are you guys hearing me out there? Are you guys hearing me, or you guys are not hearing me? Give me a thumbs up. I don't think they're hearing me. Oh boy. Yes, okay. Have I made sense to you guys what I'm saying? Have I made sense to you what I'm telling you? Do I make sense that, you know, we are, you know what it is to use this fleet of ice breaking and make roads, you know, paths, so they can go to places to look for things. You know, explore, look for oil, more oil. And we're still sitting here. Papi, you know? And then you hear, because you guys should be thinking, wow, how is it that you're letting a company like Blackstone and BlackRock buy all the utilities they can get their hands on, you know, like Con Edison, you know, FP&L, you know, New Mexico Electricity, Minneapolis, I don't know, and they're buying all this so they can keep on bringing the price of electricity all the way up, all the way up. You want to know why gold is going up? I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. You probably think that, yeah, you know, I'm one of them. I'm one of them that I believe that America is the best there is in the world, and there are. But when I see that other countries are using their energy so they can get in touch with the AI, you know, because AI is going to be unbelievable. And the ones that are ahead of the game, that's it. They're the ones. And maybe they're hearing me out there and they say, hey, listen, man, we heard Juan Felipe Nieves and he's saying, yeah, we're behind the 8 ball, man. We need to start doing things. You know, ¿cómo puede ser? Refinery that we can't even, you know, cleanse our own oil. We can't. We have to sub it out, bring it in, take it back out. Because we don't have the machinery. Papi, no podemos ser lambones. No podemos ser lambones, muchacho. Yes, I'm going to give you a watch market update. But I have many people today who reached out to me, phone calls, texts, emails, telling me, man, you run target when you said it. Yeah, I'm saying it, but that doesn't mean okay, that's good for us. We're gonna be fraud. Puppy, that Tonka truck, that front loader, you're not gonna be able to give it to your grandchild, your son, Times are tough. La situación está jodida. I was waiting for this. And there it is. It's a new record. Again, what was the price of gold when it today closed? Does anybody know? What was the close, We are fraud. Who's this? Franco? Franco knows. People don't want to talk about this. You don't want to hear about this. Wow, 35.90. That's disgusting. 35.90. Qué asquerosidad. If you have a couple of, you have a couple of pounds of gold, I saw that the kilo is at $114,000 a kilo. That's crazy. It's crazy. What's coming to us is unbelievable. There's no money out there for groceries. There's no money for toys. There's no money to pay private schools. There's no money for tuition. There's nothing, Papa. You might be thinking, well, Juan, are you excited? Well, I'm excited that I have proven to you guys out there, for the last 3 years and a half, I told you, looking to go. And there it is, man. Looking to go. I started telling you people out there at 1,700 and change. And it's all the way up to 35.97. I believe somebody put that up there, or 35.90. It's scary, guys. It's scary. This is not a game. This is not a game. To the ones that have the hardware, they're good to go. They're making money. But then you have silver. You have silver right behind them. I believe that I saw it today at $42 a troy ounce. $42. I know people that bought silver at $16 a troy ounce. 16.42. Papi, esto está virado al revés. This is upside down. I don't know if I am communicating with you people out there, and you understand all the factors that I'm telling you, what's happening, you imagine that the United States of America has a small little fleet of boats, icebreakers for the Coast Guard, to play around with the orca and the polar bears, It's crazy. It's crazy. These people, they have this monster, and they're buying more equipment, icebreakers, to make path, so they can go explore and find out more horizons out there. Meanwhile, people are, listening to, Swift Taylor getting engaged to that football hat, with the red uniform, red helmet, to get you. I'm telling you, when I tell you something, Papi, when Kino tells me something, it's like that. I said, Kino told me this is coming now. This is a distraction call. Boom! There it is. Everybody was frying hamburgers and frankfurters, hot dogs and all that stuff. Labor Day, all that good stuff. And they were coming with it, bro. They were coming with it. And I was looking at it. Ooh, man, this is going to pop any moment, I'm telling you what it is. I have to tell you this because you're asking me, do you think gold is going to continue? Coño, papi, I finished telling you everything. We're behind the 8 ball. We're behind the 8 ball. This is crazy. You know what it is to China say to that country, we don't need your Rolls Royce engine. We don't need your General Electric engine. We'll take care of that. And they come up with that new plane aircraft, unbelievable. The Comac. Somebody said it was something C929. And people saw that thing is already in use. It's flying all over the place. Like Boeing. Boeing, like Boeing. You know what I'm trying to say. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Today I feel like, coño, I really wanted it to go, but then I said, man, do they know what's going on, what's happening? El peso no vale nada, muchacho. If I try to give my 4-year-old grandson $1, he looked at me and he winked at me and just left it there. It's unbelievable. El dinero no vale nada, muchacho. El dinero no vale nada. I know what I'm trying to tell you people out there, and we cannot continue skip hopping around through life, and you cannot continue giving your money away. It's not the moment to be giving your money away to these lambones. These people ain't selling no watches. It's all a sketch. It's all a sketch to get you taken. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not looking good. I'm telling you, everything that we do in the United States, we have to bring it in. Somebody show us about this, show us about that. You understand? Estamos mal, estamos jodidos. I don't know what was the name of that guy that was over there. He was a Nazi, and he came and they told him, hey, come to America and show us how to do this 007 situation. And he said, okay, I'm going to go over there and show you guys. This is simple. And he came over here and he said, okay, there it is. Now it's called the ICA. That's it. Abi, when you're telling me that you're gonna give a company like BlackRock and Blackstone, you're gonna give them actions to buy utility companies, Abi, estamos jodidos, man. We're in trouble, man. It's the kaboom, man. We're in trouble. These people, I'm telling you something that, forget about watches, man. You're gonna see people out there, man, starving. You're going to see people stop. Papi, listen to me. You have people, let's say in Washington, D.C., in California, you have people that lost everything. These were people that had a real job. They had a house. They had the kids in school, dental insurance. Come on, be with me. Follow me, guys. Follow me. And suddenly they lost everything. And then those same people that lived a very nice quality life that lost everything, suddenly they became drug addicts. How can you become a drug addict if you lost your house and you don't have no money? Who is giving these people the drugs? Who? Ask yourself that question. ¿Sí? No tienen la capacidad para hacerse esa pregunta. Who's giving? Tent City everywhere. But those people, listen to me. How do you say that word? Because I don't want to offend nobody. The homeless, right? People, they're homeless. They, how do you say? Because I don't want to use the wrong word. Can somebody help me out? Dr. E, Damon, Franco. Those people that they have mental issues and they live in the street, right? I don't want to say the word. Okay, so okay, the unfortunates. All right, that's it, right? But these people had a life. They had a job. They reported to a house, and they lost it all. And after they lost it all, they went to a tent city. And after they went into tent city, they became drug addicts. My question is, if they don't have no money, they lost everything, how do they have money to purchase drugs? Who is giving these people the drugs? Think about that. Who is? I know the answer, but I'm not going to tell you. I know it all day long, every day. They just make them part They're going to be part of the team. They're going to be part of the team. They're going to be in our team. Not our team, their team. You know, they lost everything. Eso es, eso es, eso es. Ya, 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 Franco, ya, 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 ya. That's it. That's it. You lost your house. You lost your beautiful little Volkswagen, SUV. You lost your Honda Accord. You lost your house. You lost dental insurance, prepaid college, and now you're living in a tent. And then you became a drug addict. Who's giving you the drugs? Who's giving you the drugs? Too much. Pretty soon I'm gonna retire because I must retire. But before I retire, I'm giving you the blueprints so you guys can continue, following the blueprints. There you go. There you go. I know. You got people walking around, Listen to me. It's crazy. I'm telling you something so you guys can wake up tomorrow morning feeling better and saying, God, man, that motherfrogger was dropping heat. Heat. The guy from Japan, he went there in the middle of the square. 4 stripes. We have 4 stripes. And he went over there in the middle of the square in Japan. And he started telling the people, fracking, this, nuclear, ta. And right there in the square, bam, 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 fuera, a dormir. That's how it is. That's how it is. The other guy from Korea, right? Korea, el gordito, chiquitito, Kino. Duku Ching King. You know why they don't talk about him? Because he has a couple of those rockets. They leave him alone. They left him alone. You know it, Dr. E. Listen, if you guys continue to listening to these Moshiganas, you need to put on your glasses to see better. You put your glasses on and you understand what's going on. Like the movie They Live. It will say in every corner, obey. Obey. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in a plantation. We are living, listen to what I'm talking. I'm gonna go so deep now on you guys that I'm gonna dare myself. We are all living in a plantation and we're slaves. A plantation. You might think that I'm drinking jungle juice. It's the modern way to do it. We're not doing no more like in those days. Now it's, now it's different. We live in a plantation. You don't even know it. You don't even feel it. You're so drunk. You're so drunk in your mind that you don't even feel it that you are in a plantation. Those plantations. Those plantations they had over there, and in Georgia. Over there. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know those places. Can anybody help me where those plantations are at? And now we live in a plantation and we have light, air conditioning, But we live in a plantation, papi. We live in a plantation. No sean huevones. There's nothing like the United States of America. But we have slacked off. We have slacked off. And I'm talking about en todo, and armor, I mean, listen to me. When we have one of those rockets, one of those, the simplest one will cost you 2 melons. 2 melons. Every time you let go of one of those rockets, costs $2 million. And then they throw a fake drone, and the rocket goes, boom, $2 million. Papi, this is too much for you guys. I'm giving you the subliminal message. We're behind, man. We're behind. I was telling my friend today, ¿de qué me estás hablando? We're behind. Those people are flying high. Those two countries, Russia and China, they're ahead of the game. You know, we have 5 years to reach that 50% goal of energy. And then you got the guy over there in Washington now. You know, you got him over there that he's saying that he's shitting his pants, that he's not feeling well, that he's sick. The same blueprints they have for the blue team. He was also using Pampers. He was falling down. He couldn't climb the stairs. Papi, Russia's ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Listen to me, they're finding places, you know, with those ice-breaking boats, right? And they're taking their own plants. Their own plants, you know, like when you put the plug in to put the fan on, you know, you put in the wall to shave. They plug it in and they work with that. They put the plant, the boat out there, and they start working. These people están adelantados, papi. Están adelantados. We're looking at too much Kardashians, you know? Too much Khloe Kardashian and Kim Kardashian, you know? And our minds are, you know, como unos estúpidos. We're looking at a la zapa esa, a la gilipollas esa, Taylor Swift. We're talking about La Bubu. You know, La Bubu. Can you believe La Bubu? La Bubu just came out again. He said, I made an extra $2 billion. And then you got BlackRock over there going like this. Listen to me. To turn on the light of your house is going to be a luxury. To turn on the light, you know, it's going to be a luxury. I think I've talked enough about this already. If you didn't understand, that's up to you. I told you why gold will continue to go up. I hope Dr. E, Damon, Mr. Blair, Franco, I told all of you out there, Pete, whatever it is, Mr. Donut, I told you guys, esto viene, papi. Esto viene. Esto viene, papá. And watches will continue to drop. Will continue to drop. I'm going to give you a watch market update because you guys, you want more, huh? Give us more one, okay? I'm telling you what it is. Over there in Washington, D.C., they had next to the Lincoln Memorial. You know the Lincoln Memorial? You know, a Lincoln, he sits down. I was trying to keep my composure. I was trying to keep it serious, you know? But I blew it with the Lincoln. You know, the Lincoln Memorial, the guy that sits there, they had tents of people living there. People that had their houses in Georgetown. You know what Georgetown is? You ever seen the movie St. Elmo's Fire? St. Elmo's Fire, you know? I remember many years ago, I stood in the hotel there, right there, in St. Elmo's Fire. I don't know, what's the name of that? Georgetown. I stood there, and it was called, I think it was the Breakers Hotel. We went there with our children to see, you know, the presidency was changing from, what's his name? Billy Boy Clinton was going to be the next president. And we were there. We went over there and we made passes. We called our governor. And this is no lie, ladies and gentlemen. This is for real. This is for real. We called and we made an application that me, my wife, and my 2 children, we were going to go to Washington. And we wanted to go to the White House and see the White House. And we went over there. And it's unbelievable. Today, that place was full of tent cities. People living next to the Lincoln Memorial, whatever. And they took it all out. Papi, these people están todos locos. You know, when they're giving you when they're giving you a 2, when they're giving you out there 2 and a 4% TH, and then suddenly they jump it up to somebody told me something disgusting the other day. I told my friend, I said, one of my viewers told me that I was wrong. The inauguration, I was there for. I was there. And people are getting a 60% potent. When you get that in your head, you can't think straight. You know? And what you do is you become part of their team. It's very hard what I'm telling you right now. It's kind of hard. You have to really think what I'm saying. They make him junkies so they can join their team. And they're going to defend. And they're going to fight. That's what it is, papi. Es una loquera. Es una loquera, papa. And then you have, I told you, that in Venezuela, you have all those ships and planes, F-22 Raptors flying around, and they're waiting for the phone call. Because they're telling them that, hey, Maduro is the next Pablo Escobar, No comas mierda. I got a secret. They want their oil. They want their oil, papi. It's how it is. I can't continue. I can't continue. Quieren el aceite, papá. They want the oil. They're using it's oil, baby. It's oil. You ever play that game Risk? On standby. They're on standby. They're like this. They're waiting for a phone call on the red phone. Dale. 10 minutes over. 10 minutes. If right now, I'm going to leave you with this last, if right now, Cuba, if Cuba right now, they find over there some oil, the next day, U.S. will say, hey, listen, you guys have been in power for 65 years. Enough of this. Get out. Oil, baby. It's the oil game. It's like that. It's very simple. If you didn't understand what I said, I'm sorry, but I don't want to get a tower hit. Ta! My antenna falls down, It's what it is, I'm telling you what it is. It's crazy, and the more you look at it, you go, man, it's why is this happening? Can anybody tell me before I go into exactly? That's it, the military-industrial complex, the Congreso, Congress, el Congreso, You saw what happened when he left. And that guy, one of the Kennedys, I said it wrong. All those Kennedys should have listened. But they didn't listen. Era unos lambones. And they got clipped too. He was telling them a message. And I still don't understand today how it was that Dwight Eisenhower was able to say that farewell speech and include, the ICA in the military complex, congressional, whatever you want to call it. He gave the message. There were many people sleeping out there. Maybe if I would have been in that time too, in the 60s, I would have been sleeping too. I would have never caught on. But, pa' fuera pa'l carajo con todo el mundo. They're all gone. Guys, it's been fun talking about this. You should all be happy. Whoever has gold out there should be happy. You should thank no other than Sweet Kid Kino, that he puts a lot of effort into all this. I try to drop some heavy artillery knowledge to you guys. So, because people don't want to listen to none of this stuff. They want to continue watching Monday Night Football. They want to keep on watching James LeBron, Jordan Michael, distractions, to have you skip hopping around like slaves. We are all in a plantation. We are all in a plantation. No matter where you are, what part of the world you're at, no matter what part of the state you're at, the country, we are in a plantation. Estamos todos en un plantation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something because I just remember right now. I don't know if you know this, but we had here 2 towers in Miami Beach. You know, we had 2 big buildings, right? And those 2, when this happened, they were already talking about that they were going to have to bring in, you know, some new kind of put some escrow money in your escrow account so they can start fixing buildings, right? You understand what I'm trying to say? The buildings, you know, towers. So we had 2 towers in Miami Beach. In Miami Beach. I'm going to give you this last one so you understand how this works, man. It works like a charm. So they had those 2 buildings in Miami Beach and they collapsed. Boom, 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 boom. They went down. You know, like, right? Went down. When that went down, they came out right away with the law of Florida that all the buildings, all the condominiums, they have to be checked by engineers and all that good stuff, you know, because buildings were collapsing. So right away, you had a gentleman like Paco Gambino. Paco Gambino had an apartment somewhere in Hollywood in the beach, you know, Hollywood, Florida. So they told Paco Gambino, he's been there since 1968, and that apartment condominium, they tell him, now we're going to be doing an inspection. You know what I'm trying to say, right? We're going to do an inspection in the building. We're going to check everything out, you know, the balconies, the underground, you know, parking lot, and all that, right? So Paco Gambino has been there since, you know, the late 60s. And now suddenly they're telling Paco Gambino, you're going to have to put in your escrow account, you're going to have to put there for the next 10 years, $100,000 to fix all the water leakage, the structure, this, that. So you have a bunch of people in Florida that they cannot pay that. So they have to give up because they can't pay it, and you need to pay it. You need to put the money in your escrow. And everybody that has a condominium in Florida, if you have the money, you're safe. If you have the money. Pero si tú no lo tienes, deep. And all these old people, they've been there forever, you know, on Collins Avenue, Sunny Isles, Hollywood, you know, the Yankee Clipper, Hollandale, all that. All those people have been cleaned out. Because they're going to take all those buildings and they're going to make them rentals, government rentals. I bet you didn't know that either. Nah, you didn't know that. Did you know that? And I made it real simple for you guys, the way I said it. If I go into details, we need a couple of hours. It works like a charm, Papa. Bring that one down and the rest will fall. Not literally fall. They'll just fold and give away. I can't take this apart. Oh, you can't? Okay, we're going to give you so much. Get out of here. Go. You don't understand the elderly people that have lost their apartments, condominiums all over Florida. You don't know about that. Does anybody know about that? Just give me a thumbs up. You don't know about that, right? All right, guys, I'm going to give you a watch market. Yes, we know. Wow. Okay. Ooh la la. Somebody said, yes, we know. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're losing apartments all over the place. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what it is. This is, Bobby, this is what they're good at, destroying us. This is what they're good at, destroying us. And then we're going to give it to our pal friends, you know, because when they went over there to the summer camp, when they went to the summer camp over there, you know, they went to the summer camp, you know, in California, with the owl. You know, they went over there, and this is it. Papi, we are like insects. Somos insectos. It's unbelievable. The little Paco Gambino, he said, I can't afford this no more. You know, how can I live on a social security of, you know, some of these people were making $900, $1,200 social security, and they have their apartment paid off. In their last years of life, they were going to live there. You know when you would put those things in your nose to cover the sun? You know, my mother would put something white over here, but the Americans would put like a plastic thing, like a paper on the nose. You know, I'm not making fun of them. This is serious. They want to walk around, you know, and do the shuffle. You know the shuffle? Shh, you know? Gone. Man, I'm on fire today, right? Man, I think today, coño, creo que le hablé fuerte a esta gente, yo, Kino. You know, increíble. You know, you see, I didn't want to say that. But Dr. E just finished saying, look what he wrote down. They're buying everything. Papi, when they sell out their utility to somebody else. So let's say right now you pay, okay, let's say me, right? I pay an electricity. I really don't know because the one that takes care of all the payments in the house is not me, it's my wife. But I do hear when she says, hey, it dropped a quarter this month, it dropped 50 the other day. We pay an average of $490 a month, right? When those people get their hands on FPNL, which is Florida Power and Light, my bill will double that. You understand? My bill will double that. It's a luxury. It's a luxury having electricity. The whole business right now, what is it, ladies and gentlemen? Energy. Energy. And we're selling out our energy a esos lambones. Los lambones eso. Is anybody from these 24 subscribers live in Florida or live in Miami? How's that? Miami. Does anybody live in Miami? Buckle up, man. Buckle up. Water. We pay water for Lauderdale. Los Angeles. But I think Los Angeles must be expensive as well, too. Los Angeles. Naples. Naples is a ghost town right now. I mean, that West Coast part, you know? Sarasota, Fort Myers, you know? Exactly, it has been sold out. It has been sold out to China. There you go, tri-state. Okay, Papa. And it's what it is. Water, I pay every four, I think it's every 4 months. Huge increase this year. Wow, you see that? Huge increase this year. Papi, I pay in water because, you know, the lady cleans the back of the house, you know, the terrace. That's the name of it, right? The terrace. Or she clean the front, the water. And we spend, which they told me that's wow, man, you pay a lot of water. I pay like $400 every 4 months. I pay $400, right? When those people get their hands on that utility of water, Bobby, they say it's gonna go all the way up. It's crazy. And we're still, you know, today I'm not gonna give you a watch market update. I'm gonna just finish with this off already because I've been talking for 1 hour and 10 minutes already. We need to get ready and be smart. You know, if you don't, a little north of Miami, okay? Yeah, so you live here. You know what it is. What's about to happen? It's about to happen. And you know, they're not gonna tell you. None of those people are gonna tell you because I don't think they don't have the, you know, they don't have it. They don't have that to tell you this. And Papa is going crazy. When I read that, because I always talk to you guys always about BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. You know, I talk to you about those people always, right? But then when you read and you see what they have prepare, and you know, and you have BlackRock and Blackstone, you know, licking their chops because man, we're just gonna make an assassination on this now. You know, when we get our hands, and then they tell you no, because right now, if you guys don't believe me, I double dare any of you right now to right now Google it and say, put there, BlackRock, Blackstone purchasing electricity from New Mexico in Minneapolis. Go ahead. Do it. Right now, do it quickly. And tell me if I'm lying to you. And then they tell you, that's how they start. You know, let's give them one here and one over there. So they can, you know, because we're going to get them now. I told you that all that free money that they gave away, somehow, some way, you were going to pay for it. You were going to pay for it. Somehow. Somehow, some way you were going to pay for it. And this is the reason, go. Don't be surprised if it goes to 3,800. Don't be surprised if it hits 4,000. Estamos mal, papi. Estamos bien jodidos. And I'm telling you, we're not really doing nothing. These people from China, I mean, the discipline. There you go. There it is. There it is, guys. When I tell you something, Google it, papi. Google. Don't listen to me. And when you read it, my hairs went boom. I said, forget it. They're coming for us. They have us in the plantation. It's going to be a cold winter. It's going to be a cold winter. You know, like Mr. Blair says, get all your shekels ready. You know, wow, gold is at $3,604 an ounce. Oof. It's crazy. It's crazy. Be smart, guys. Don't be dodo birds. I've told you too much. You know, I told you that. You know what it is to have 42. What was that? Right now, demand of electricity. I'm telling you, electricity is becoming something that. Oh, you want air condition? You want a light bulb? You want this for your Tesla car? You know that thing they put, you know, in the car to charge it? You want that? I'll be. These people have it all figured out, man. And they keep on putting us in a plantation. We walk around freely every day. But, you know, we're like in the Truman Show. You know, we're like in the Truman Show. You look around, you know, everything. Papi, is crazy what's going on, man. It really is, you know, and I'll say this one more time. I love the United States of America. I was born in the United States. I was born in the Bronx of New York. And I love my country. But for some reason, I don't understand. Does anybody understand why are they slacking off? Because what I told you today, I told you about what the Chinese are doing and what the Russians are doing, Papi. That's crazy. I can't get out of my head when they launch that. They call it a satellite, you know, satellite that's going around, you know. What's the name of that planet that has like a ring around it, you know, like that. It's going around, and it never stops. Check this out, man. This is crazy. And it never stops and it never breaks. Why? Does anybody know why it doesn't stop or breaks? Does anybody know? Because we've been talking about it for the last hour and 10 minutes. Nobody knows? Energy. It runs on energy. Come on, Papi. Energy, Papa, just there. Anything happen? Hey, it's going around through here. Let it go. Boom. When people see it, hey, I see it. Move out the way. I'm telling you, energy. It's energy. The game is energy. You know, artificial intelligence. And those guys are preparing, each of them, China and Russia, 30 more nuclear reactors or whatever you want to call it. 30 more. And I'm telling you, we have here in our state, they're like this. How can that be? I'm going to say this so I can let you guys go. I'm going to say this. The only thing that's left, I don't even know if I should tell you this. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? What's the only thing left? Nobody knows, right? So I'm going to say it. Well, something like that. You're right. It's something like that. The only thing left is, yeah, careful, Juan. I got to leave that one alone because it's very powerful. It's very powerful. But I say that exactly, Dr. E. Exactly. I mean, the only thing is that's going to have to happen is, listen, I told you the other day, I told you the Gambino, the Genovese, right? I told you the Gambino, the Genovese, and I'm going to tell you now the Bonanno. Bonanno, right? The Bonanno. And these are the three biggest monsters there are, right? Gambino, Genovese, Bonanno. I think it's going to come a moment that they're going to have to sit together, all three of them, and just say, you know, I think this country is very good on what they're doing on this. I think that country is very good on what they're doing over there. And I think our country is good what we're doing here. And they have to come into an agreement, because if that doesn't happen, this is just my theory, man. This is just allegedly my theory. If that doesn't happen, we're going to have a... When was the last war we had in this country? World War One, World War Two, right? 1 and 2. What year was that? 40 something. Yeah, 40 something. I think I said what I had to say. I try to dress it up as well as I can. I think that I think those countries are going to have to take credibility as being the superpowers. You know, the superpowers. Because, man, the more I exactly, that's what they did in Alaska one. The superpower, you know, is a superpower. And everybody, you know, Gambino for you, Genovese for you, Bonanno for you, and that's it. No, we're not gonna keep on saying that I'm the biggest, that I'm this, and energy, electricity, this, clean air, whatever it is. You know, they have to, because something is gonna... Thank you. 1939, 1945. Wow, bro. You know, that's the thing. I mean, you know, what do you guys think before I let you guys go? What do you think is gonna happen? What kind of an agreement they're gonna have to come into? You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Nelson. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Sorry that I wasn't able to give you a watch market update, but we've been talking for 78 minutes. 78 minutes, and time flies. When you're talking about something, I'm telling you, that guy over there, you know, that guy was talking in Broadway, you know, and he was talking and talking and talking, and nobody would listen to him. And while nobody listens to you, there's no problem. When they start listening to you, That's the problem. And that's what happened to the guy in Japan. You know, he had 4 strikes. And he started talking over there. And he was dropping knowledge. And right there, we're not talking about that he had a slip and fall in the bathtub or that he fell down picking up snow. No, 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 no. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. Fuera. That's it. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoy this Watch Market Update show. Again, please forgive me for not giving you a okay. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Damon. I hope you guys appreciate what I told you. It's something that I had to tell you because, you know, it goes with gold. It goes con el oro, you know? It goes with gold, and this is why they're never going to tell you. But how do you know gold is going to go up? Well, I just gave you the prescription. I just gave you the. Did you guys enjoy this? Did you guys feel that? You know, I know that most of you are very, very smart, and you know this already. But you know, maybe hearing it for a second time. Yes, okay, you're right. I believe so too. World knowledge, you know, you need to, man. Yeah, I mean, I hope you learned something. I feel like for the last couple of lives, I've given you, you know, a little best of me, you know, a little best of me. Kino has given me permission to, you know, go ahead, man. Let him know. You know too much. He tells me that always. You know, it's unbelievable, this Kino, you know. I hope you enjoy the show. And again, please, I will give you a Watch Market Update. I had a real good one prepared for you guys, but I said again, we've been talking for forever, for an hour and something, you know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the channel. And like me and Sweet Kino say always, take care and brush your hair. BlackRock, Blackstone, they're buying all utilities all over the place. Ciao!